Hi, welcome to SBR TV. This is our NFL Experts Roundtable where we're going to preview NFL Week 11. We are joined once again by returning guest SBR contributor John Ryan from JohnRyanSports.com and Dave Golikoff from AskMen.com. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's get right into the first game Dave wants to talk about. That's Chargers at Bears. This one is pretty straightforward. The Bears are improving, playing great, covering, headed up. Their defense is playing great. Chargers kind of banged up, especially on the offensive line, kind of fumbling all over the place on the way down. The Bears are only a 3.5-point home favorite, but that did open at 4. I'm looking at this thinking like kind of the obvious play here is lean on the Bears. Is that what you like here, Dave?
Yeah, it is. It is what I like, Peter. You know, I started off liking the over in this game, and I still do. But the more you do the research, it's really hard to bet the San Diego Chargers in this spot. You know, last week on Thursday, they were actually playing for first place in the AFC West, and it was hard to believe it if you watched that performance. Just a completely shoddy performance, and really the only conclusion I can gain out of it is that the team has really quit on Norv Turner. They've just tuned him out. They're not listening to what he has to say. Not that what he normally has to say is that effective anyways, but you factor that in with all the injuries. So really, I did like the over because I think the Chargers have a few extra days to prepare, and I think they'll score their share of points, but I just don't see how they're going to slow down the Bears. They don't have a pass rush. They struggle with power backs, and Matt Forte is going to run all over them. So I actually do like the Bears laying a small number at home. My only conclusion here, why the number is so short, is that people still have this image of the Chargers as, you know, coming back and being a strong team and having all that talent. They're only 13-13 in their last 26, lost 8 of their last 12 road games. So yes, Peter, I am taking the Bears minus the number.
Yeah, I mean, the line is a short number, and it's actually gotten bet down. It opened at 4, and now it's down to 3.5. That doesn't concern you at all, or?
No, it doesn't. I still think that people, if you're looking at the public perception here, I think people are still a little bit skeptical about the Chicago Bears. They're skeptical of this kind of win streak that they've put together and that they can actually be a contender again this year. Looking at the two mindsets of the teams, I just can't see how you can conceivably take only 3 points or 3.5 points with the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, I hear you. And then I have one more question. John and I actually discussed this game earlier in the week, and I also said that I like the over, and I actually did hit the over 46.5 pretty hard. Now it's 45, so getting a shitty number is what like anyone can win if they get a great number. You know, I like to win while getting shitty numbers. What do you think? Do you think I should stick with that bet? What would you recommend? I mean, the Bears defense is kind of getting better now, and the Chargers are kind of getting banged up on the offensive line. Do you think maybe I should take it back and hope not to get
No, I do like the over in this game. And really, I mean, one of the biggest flaws of San Diego throughout, you know, the latter part of the Norv Turner era, since they lost LaDainian Tomlinson, has been their ability to not run the ball, or has been their inability to run the ball, if you don't want to use several negatives in a sentence. And I just don't see them being able to run the ball this week with Ryan Matthews and Mike Tolbert. I think you're going to see a lot of the same thing as last week. Either they're going to pass and make big plays, or Philip Rivers is going to get sacked and, you know, get throttled by Julius Peppers and company, and I think you might see a lot of turnovers or mistakes in that respect. I think Philip Rivers and the Chargers offensive line figure out a few things because they sort of have, you know, not a bye week, but they have some extra time to prepare. And I think their offense is going to get going, whereas their defense is just complete garbage. The Bears' offense is clicking, and that's why I like the over.
All right. Well, I bet it. John, we talked about this game earlier in the week on the Openers show, and I said I like the over, and now it's lost a point and a half. So someone liked the under quite a bit in this one, and the Bears seem like just glancing at this line and glancing at how the teams are doing, way too short of a favorite here. What do you think?
I think you have to be careful with this game, Peter. Mm-hmm. I think the over is still the play. Mm-hmm. But San Diego has had that extra 3-4 days of rest now. I think one of the reasons San Diego has not done well and underperformed is that Philip Rivers has a tendency to force passes, especially under pressure, especially when behind in games. And if they can take that factor away, then Philip Rivers will have a big day against in my opinion, one of the worst secondaries in the NFL, and the Bears. San Diego's 25-10 against the number. When facing a poor defense, it's allowing 61% completions or worse. Moreover, Chicago's coming over a game where they had an advantage of +4 in the turnover column. And I've seen this time and time again over my 18 years. When you have a big game like that and the turnovers, there's a way that the football gods even things out the following week. And Chicago's 2-10 against the number after a game where they enjoyed a +4 or greater turnover margin. So I think for all the reasons I just outlined, the over is the play that I do like, but with a cautious tone.
All right. Okay, good. That makes me feel a little bit better.